What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and welcome back to the 2018 game reviews. We're doing the first JLT game between Port Adelaide and West Coast, which happened yesterday. Unfortunately, Port Adelaide went down by 2 points, but a lot of positives to come out of the game, a lot of negatives to come out of the game. I've been seeing your comments across all social medias. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get straight into this first review of 2018. I know whenever we watch Port Adelaide play, we always want to see a win, but I'll tell you something now, Port fans, it wasn't that bad as a lot of people put it out to be over, all the social medias that we've seen. A lot of people whinging, complaining about these new recruits we've brought in. Looking at specific times that players have played across the game yesterday, really there's not a lot to take out for the new recruits. It's got to take a long time to start gelling and start, being cohesive, playing that team play. And to be honest, yesterday there was a lot of positives. So let's go through the positives and negatives of yesterday's game against West Coast. Look, to be honest, I thought a lot of the young kids that played yesterday, players like Dom Barry, Carl Amon was really good, I thought, yesterday. All those types of players were really impressive. I thought definitely Dom Barry is going to have a chance to play round one. If Jared Pollock doesn't pull up, Dom will definitely be playing, and how good is it to have another Dom in the team? Dom is good. I thought goal kicking improvement was a really good positive yesterday, especially considering what we went through last year, as we all know. So especially, it was a low scoring affair, I know, and I think really what we learnt was the fact that it's slowly improving, and players like Charlie Dixon, who is just an absolute beast. Jack Watts looks pretty good down the front as well, putting some nice forward pressure on the odd occasion. And yeah, really our whole forward line, you couldn't really tell because we didn't have that full. I don't think there was a part of yesterday where we saw like our team out there in their structured positions. It's always chopping and changing, which I think you do in JLT, just trying to get that mix right. Our midfield looked okay. I thought players like Boak, who's playing his new role perfectly, he looked a new player yesterday, Travis Boak. Especially in that second half when everyone seemed to be fatiguing a little bit. There were glimpses of what we can produce. If we can get that consistency, I know it's a word that we use quite a lot, consistency. There was patches. There was a patch in the first quarter where we dominated the play, we actually hit the scoreboard and we used our chances. That second quarter, Robbie Gray kicking a brilliant goal from a rider tap, where have we seen that before? I know where. But essentially, I think as Kenny said in his press conference, there's a lot more to talk about, there's a lot more to improve on. But I feel yesterday's game was a good base to start off with, to build upon, ready for round one. Now, if you look at it, basically we started the JLT series with the way we ended last year. We dominated play but couldn't get the job done. So if you're starting off last year, that is already improvement because you've set that base. You've set that base level where you can just keep going up and up and up. And I think that's a good thing because last year we were all over the place in pre-season. We came out round one and we bet Sydney out of nowhere. So I feel that this is a good signs from the players. And you know what? JLT is all about individual performance, I think, getting that cohesion right in the team. So look, Port fans, it's not as bad as it seems. So I think we just wait for our assumptions for JLT Game 2 against the Crows at Alberton Oval. That's going to be the biggest. I think that the game will tell more about how our team's looking for round one than yesterday, because it was muggy conditions, very hot. Twilight game, it was very sweaty, the ball was slippery, and obviously the first hit out against opposition, you're always going to be a bit sloppy and you're not going to execute any of your structure or any of your procedures straight away. You can't expect perfection straight up. It comes with many attempts. So it's not that bad. I mean, it wasn't impressive, but it was still something that we can say, look, we've got this, we've got that, if we can get it together, that's exactly what's going to happen. So not as bad as I thought, as many thought. The negatives from the game yesterday, look, I think our biggest one was obviously our accuracy and our execution across the ground. I feel like it was a bit low. It was at 68%. across the board, and I think, you know, that's not bad, but it's not good. I think if we can get that to 75–80% on a regular occurrence, it will definitely build up. It's definitely gonna, you know, it will help our team forward, but not that bad for a first hitter in horrible conditions, I feel, playing footy. The second point I'd like to make, the second negative, would be forward pressure. I stated in a tweet yesterday that I feel like our forward pressure was good. Now, when I say forward pressure, I think, you know, making the opposition feel clamped. They feel like they can't get out. So, players like Need, Dixon, Westhoff even, Watts was down there, Boak, Robbie Gray at times, Motlop on the odd occasion as well. They were putting that pressure on in our forward half, and West Coast couldn't get out. So that was good to see. But the negative on that was that we only had 3 tackles inside 450. And inside 450 tackles win games. And I feel that it might have been too open yesterday to really be any more than 5 or 6, 7, 8 tackles inside 50, but 3 is very low, and we have to improve on that area for sure. Defensive efforts will go on with forward pressure. I feel like our defensive end was lacking a little bit. We were good in the air, we were good at defending, but just following up, the second, third, fourth steps were a bit, you know, they weren't there, they weren't fighting for the ball. The fight wasn't there, and I feel like it was a bit lackluster. That could be due to fatigue, or it could be due to just, you know, the whole coming together and playing in a game against opposition for the first time. Bit rusty, blowing out the cobwebs, that's fine. We can deal with that for next game in a couple of weeks against Adelaide. And I've also stated the skill, but I'm going to state one other thing. I think a few of you guys, the Port fans, I think you can agree with me that the umpiring hasn't changed since last year. And what is with that number 8? What's wrong with him? Does he hate Port Adelaide? Oh. And Luke Shuey. I don't like Luke Shuey. Let's go through the votes for the game. I mean, these aren't going to go towards anything. I'm just going to give you my best for the game, who I thought stood out a bit. I definitely feel like Don Barry was probably one of the best players on the ground across both teams. He really attacked the ball, his speed, his skill level was good. It was helping out in the defence, in the attacking half as well, and around the middle of the ground in stoppages as well, which was good to see. So he could be a perfect replacement for Pollock if Pollock doesn't pull up for round 1. I thought Big Charlie Dixon laid a perfect tackle in the first quarter, and just throughout the game brought his presence along, and you could feel him there, and he looks fantastic. It looks like he's slimmed down, but he's still that beast that we all know Charlie Dixon is. The Big Dix is definitely ready to go in 2018. And lastly but not least, Mr. Travis Boak. I feel like he, especially in the second half, he was classic Travis. Attacking the ball, really bringing a lead up. He was just fending off players. He was giving us options down forward, helping up in the midfield, and his new role looks fantastic. And he looks happy doing it as well. So we can't wish for anything more for the captain, and I feel like that he's going to have a superb 2018 as well. So I feel like that game was a bit scrappy and a bit something we can't base anything off of, and I really hope it improves for next week against the Crows at Alberton Oval. Well, Port fans, that ends this review for the first JLT game against West Coast for 2018. Comment below your thoughts on the game. What do you think needs to be improved? I'm feeling okay about how we're looking for 2018. It's something we can build on, and I feel like that it's only going to get better, and that's all we can hope for, because round 1 is not too far away. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe for plenty more Port Adelaide content. There's a lot more coming as the round 1 build-up continues. We are only 26 days away, and I tell you what, I am excited. So, if you are wanting to get any more Port Adelaide content, please listen to the Portress podcast on Spreaker. The description below will have the link, so click onto that. Our show is Wednesday at 8 PM SA time, so tune in then for plenty more discussion about this game, and obviously building up to round 1 with our player review, and obviously JLT 2 coming up next week at Alberton Oval. Thank you very much for watching, Port fans. My name is Anthony, and obviously, can the pair?